Hello, testing, testing. This is my first time I use my mic, so we'll see how it goes. So I finalized my journaling for Intention Setting 2025, and I wanted to share my journaling journey with you and some thoughts on how it's helped me. If you're thinking about starting journaling habit, this might inspire you. I've been journaling for the last 5 years, and it's been quite a journey, and I always recommend it to friends and family, but it is another habit to tag on to everything else, so I understand sometimes that's a little bit difficult. So I wanted to make this video and just share my journey and my tips for how to get started. Let's dive into it. I have 5 main topics, and then I'll wrap up with my personal experience and journey and what I do. Number 1, journaling requires gentleness. I acknowledge the pressure that it comes with because I can tell that sometimes I recommend it to people and sometimes it just seems like a big endeavor and a new habit, and so it can be a little intimidating. But again, journaling requires gentleness, and so it isn't about perfection. It's about being gentle with yourself. Some days you'll write a lot, other days you'll skip, and sometimes it'll just be like one word and then you're done or you're in a hurry. So it's okay. It requires gentleness. And when I first started, I thought every entry or everything I wrote had to be like some epiphany that like would help me figure out my problems. But it's really just a tool. And the more you get used to just journaling every day, setting affirmations, being grateful, that kind of thing, I think it will have an impact on your daily mood, your intention setting for the day, and how you take on the day, month, or year. Number 2, habits take time to learn. So just normalizing the learning process and the learning curve. Building a journaling habit hasn't happened overnight. It's not instant. It takes time. It took me weeks, months, years. Like I said, I've been journaling for 5 years now. And it takes some time to feel out the rhythm and what feels right to you. The key here is consistency over like quality or intensity. So even if you write just for 2 minutes a day or in the morning or at night, you know, it's something that you've done and it's a habit that you're keeping up. Even if you skip a day, just pick it up the next day, it'll be fine. Habits take time to learn. Number 3, journaling is what you make it. So it's yours. So I will emphasize flexibility. Your journal is yours. If you want to doodle, if you want to create art on your journal, if you want to vent, if you want to set goals, if you want to do affirmations, it's what works for you. So whatever gets you inspired and whatever makes you feel good and flow, that's your journal. So number 3 is journaling is what you make it. So that's my other tip. Number 4 is just basically the benefits that I've seen myself. Since I started journaling, I've noticed I'm more self-aware. I set more intentions. I'm able to catch myself if I'm in a cloud of negativity in the morning. I manage stress better and I feel more grounded. So it's really truly helped a lot with my intention setting in the morning, and I go into work or the day or the week a little more positive, and I'm able to catch myself when I have that self-deprecation comments, or I'm just being a little bit more negative than usual, or I'm going through a funk. And journaling and just saying affirmations just kind of helps me kind of get out of that and be more positive during the day. Before I go on to some prompts, I just want to encourage you guys to get started. It's helped a lot. I like the little Moleskine journal. This one's a hardcover, but I usually like the flexible ones because you can like rotate them and like write really easily. The hardcover kind of gets difficult because you have to just like write with it not being too flexible. Just get started. Let me know in the comments if you've tried journaling, if you've been doing it for a while. Yeah, just let me know in the comments. If you need any tips or prompts to just get you started, I can share some. I did want to go into my intention setting journaling. I have been following Rachel Brathen, or like Yoga Girl, for a while. She did change the name of her podcast, but I've been following her for several years, and she does a end of the year recap, and then she does an intention setting ceremony to kind of set an intention or a word for the next year. I did do that today. I kind of did my recap yesterday. I did want to share with you guys the prompts that she has in the intention setting ceremony for 2025. The first prompt she had was, what feeling do you want to embody in the year of 2025? What feeling is it that you want to feel in 2025, right? And you can journal about that. And feel free to pause this video or go to her podcast. She does more of a meditative style, so I really like her podcast. Second prompt is, what are you calling in the year of 2025, right? What is this deep need that you've been needing, or something that you've been longing for that you want to call upon in 2025? Number 3, what are you saying no to this year? Sometimes we get caught up with everything in life and just going with the flow, but sometimes that might overstretch us or get us tired or drain our energy. So thinking into 2025, what is something that you will say no to? You can journal on that or reflect and set your intention for what you will say no to in 2025 and maybe do differently. Next prompt is visualize. How do you visualize 2025? How does your day-to-day look like? What will you be doing? What does a perfect day look like to you? Without any restraints, what does a day-to-day look like to you? What does it feel like? How do you wake up? How do you have your lunch? Who do you see? How do you wrap up your evening? And how do you go to bed? How do you visualize 2025 day-to-day going? And then she goes into 4 different areas of your life, which is 4 different elements. So my spiritual girlies, this is where your altar comes into place. We have earth, air, fire, and water. So these 4 sections and these 4 elements are home, mind, body, and soul. And so you'll go into it and journal kind of each section of your life, right? These 4 pillars. Home is kind of like the earth, like your family, your relationships, material things, like your home, your space. What do you see that you want to accomplish in 2025? And so you can set 3 main goals for your home or your earth element of what you would want to accomplish in 2025. For example, one of the ones that I had on here was a garden. I want to put more energy and effort towards my garden and my house and my literal earth that surrounds my house, right? Because I've nested, I've decorated my house, but I just want to focus on the earth around my house. So my flowers, my plants, my trees, I want them to be strong this year. Moving on to the next thing is your mind, which this is the air element. So this is like where your work lands. So like money, goals, social, friendships, networking, your time, where you devote your time, right? And your effort. So think of 3 goals that you'll have for 2025 for your mind. Something you want to learn, something you have learned, something you want to apply, that kind of thing. Me, I think one of the goals that I have is like paying off my student loans, right? Like I want to set intention and work towards that. That's my air effort. So moving on to the next one, she talks about is body, which is your fire element, right? So your body is like any goals you have with eating or working out or maintaining your body or health. So movement, right? So for example, one of the ones that I wanted to do was get in touch with my intuitive movement again. So like dancing, running, skating, kind of just like something that makes me feel free, right, with my body and not too regimented. So that was mine, but you guys feel free to journal on that and set your intentions for 2025. Next one is your soul. Soul is where you have like your meditation. If you're religious, your religion. If you have service work that you work on, this is where that falls into place. And you can kind of set your intention for that, set 3 goals for next year where you can focus on your soul pillar, right? And this kind of correlates with the water element. And so, for example, mine is just like be more in touch and stay connected with my spirituality, right? So I'll make sure I'll do meditation or yoga, do my practices, right? So keep consistency with my spiritual practices that I do. So other prompts that she mentions are, how would you like to grow? So you can journal on that. How would you like to grow in 2025? Another one is, in 2025, how will I be of service? Would it be in your community, through school, through advocating for yourself, or speaking up about a topic that you haven't spoken up on? Any way you want it, but how will you be of service in 2025? Last but not least, what is your intention for 2025? Create a clear sentence, right? You can look back to everything you've written down and create a clear sentence that you can answer to a stranger right away, right? Like, this is my intention for 2025. If you have to explain it or go into all these details, it's not clear enough. The universe wants clear so that it can be delivered. So, what is your intention for 2025, right? You can write that down. And when you finally come down to your sentence, there's going to be one word in that sentence that's going to describe your year for 2025. And that word is going to be your mantra. You can write it down, create a painting, put it in your wall, put it in your mirror, but that's going to be your mantra for 2025. And that essentially wraps up your intention setting ceremony, and then you can do whatever you want to do afterwards. Drink a tea, take a nap, dance, do art, but essentially you're putting that intention forth into 2025. And I hope you guys celebrate a good New Year's, stay safe, and stay tuned. I'll be posting more for 2025, and I hope I can share more tips and tricks and more of my journey with journaling and vlogging and everything else in my life. So, ciao. Thanks.